So good evening, everyone. So here, just in the last section, we have seen these activities, right? Yeah, the activity of the comb, right? Comb rub with the dry hair attract the paper pieces, right? So you can have you have a comb, and if your hairs are dry, you can rub it on it, and you can take a small pieces of paper, throw it somewhere, and if you're going to take the near the chrome, the papers will be attracting. Okay, so why it is because that the foam is negatively charged and the papers are positive charged, so they will attract the paper pieces. Okay, and next is a glass rod rubbing with a silk cloth attract inflect the balloon. If you're having a silk cloth and you are inflecting with the rod, that means you're rubbing the silk cloth on a rod and you're taking nearby balloon, it will be attracting that. Okay, and we have seen the structure of atom. Okay, what is the structure of atom? So J.J. Thomson fellow, this scientist fellow told that it is a spherical in shape. Okay, J.J. Thomson proposed that the structure of atom is similarly to the Christmas pudding, that is spherical in shape. Okay, and he says that the spherical could have positive charge of electrons. So it is saying that it is having a positive charge and negative charge, and that's why it is not furtherly dividing at all. That's why it is not what embedding with others. Okay, next we have to see the Rutherford, right? So today we are starting the Rutherford A alpha particle scattering experiment. So this Rutherford fellow, what he did, he said that alpha particles are doubly charged helium ion since they have mass of 4u. So if they are having a mass of 4u, the fast moving alpha particle having a considerable amount of energy. So this fellow says that alpha particle is doubly charged, so that's why they can move fastly and they can have a more amount of energy also. Okay, so the procedure for this is we need a lot of fast moving alpha particles were bombarded with a gold foil. So here we need a gold foil for this. Yes. Okay, it's not opening big. Okay, fine. Okay, so here we need a long big opening this thing. Okay, long sorry, one foil, one thin gold foil. Okay, and after passing that foil in alpha particle hit the screen. So we have to keep a sources of alpha particle. Here you can see the source of alpha particle. Okay, and this is the gold thin foil. Okay, so the what you have observed by doing that is most of the alpha particle passes through the foil without getting a deflecting. See here, if you're passing it, it is without any deflection. The sources of the particles are going after they are hitting the gold foil, they are going across. Okay, without any deflection. Okay, means they are not bending anywhere. Okay, most of the inferences are what most of the space inside the atom is empty. So it's saying that most of the spaces in atoms are empty. Okay. And next, some particles are deflected by some small angles. Yeah, you can observe that. You can see that these are some small angles they are deflecting, right? See, it is of like 30, 70 degree or what, something like that. Okay. Some angles they are deflecting, right? Yeah, one out of the 12,000 particles rebounded back. So after some part, they are rebounding back also. Okay, so here in inferences, positively charged of atom occupy very little space. So whatever the positively charged atoms are there, they will be acquiring very less space. అంటే అది చాలా చిన్న చోట తీసుకుంటది. Okay, and all the positive charges and masses of the gold atom were concentrated in a very small volume within the atom. So all the positive charge, whatever it is there in the masses of the gold atoms, they will be concentrating in a very small volume within that atom. ఆ atom లోనే చిన్న చోట తీసుకుంటది అది పాజిటివ్లీ చార్జ్ అయినా లేకపోతే అది మాస్ ఆఫ్ ద గోల్డ్ అయినా. What they will do, they will be taking a very little amount of space, and within the what atom only they will be concentrating. Okay, Rutherford on the basis of this experiment conclude that he said that nuclear model of an atom, according to a nuclear model. Okay, he says that a nuclear model of atom, Anishi, he gave a conclude. Okay, according to that nuclear model of atom, most of space inside the atom is empty. So he told that atom lo space undadu, empty ga untadi. Okay, most of the space inside the atom. So atom లో అసలు ఏం ఉండదు, ఎంటీగా ఉంటది అనేసి చెప్పిండు ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్. ఓకే, he said that it is empty in a space. And next, at the center of atom a small heavy positively charged nucleus is present. In the center of atom, what will be there? A positively charged nucleus is present, is seen. Electron revolve around that nucleus. In that nucleus, around that nucleus electron will revolve, it seems. Totally positive charge is a nucleus is same as total negative charge. All the electron of atom had a net zero charge. If they are, what he is saying that, you know, how much it will be positive, that much it will be negative also inside, and that's why the net charge it is zero. Okay, what is the drawback? What is the disadvantages with this project was, according to the Rutherford model, electron revolve around the positive charge nucleus. According to the theory of Maxwell, if any charge particle does accelerate motion, it must radiate energy. So what he is saying that, according to this according to this model, Rutherford model, electrons are what? The electrons are revolving around the nucleus, that is positive charge. But according to the theory of Maxwell, if any charge particle does accelerate, if anything has been applied, some more force is applied or some more energy is applied to that electron, they should release some energy or they should gain some energy. Okay, radiate some energy. Okay, therefore if a charge particle E rotate around the another charge body nucleus, there will radiate the energy. Due to energy loss, they through the radiation, speed of electrons will decrease. Eventually it will fall into the nucleus. So what it will happen, if they are having some extra force, they will be losing the energy. If they are losing the energy, they will be go closer to the nucleus and they will be immersed in that nucleus. What happens? The nucleus, they will dissolve in the nucleus. Okay, they will drop into the nucleus. So the speed of the electrons will decrease and eventually it will fall into the nucleus. But such collapse does not occur and atoms were found in a quite stable. So what it is saying, same thing, nothing happened like that in this Rutherford model. So that is one disadvantage. It should happen, but it does not happen. Okay, the note, what we have to know that from the Rutherford model, Rutherford after this experiment get the credit of discovery of the nucleus. So what he did the invention of the, he discovers the nucleus. Okay, not invention, he discovers the nucleus. Okay, the proton and neutron collectively known as nucleons. So the protons and neutrons, if they are collectively are there, they are called nucleons. They are present in the nucleus. So if they are present in the nucleus, they are called nucleons. Okay, it found that the almost all mass of atoms resides in nucleus. So what is saying, everything will be residing in the nucleus. Next is your Bose model. Okay, Bose model of atom. Okay, so here in 1913, Neil Bose overcame the limitation of Rutherford. So what he did, he came the overflow with the, he came the limitation of that, whatever the disadvantages were there with the Rutherford model, he came across with that disadvantages. Okay. So here what he is saying that, see here the model, Bose model, the nucleus is there in the between and in their orbit they have given and the electrons are moving in the specific orbit only. Okay. Yeah, fine. So here the following are the postulates, right? Means the following are the points for this. Electron revolve around the central locally heavily small and positively charged nucleus in a certain discreted orbit. So what I said is the middle part is the nucleus, this is positively charged, and around that we have the orbits. Okay, in that orbits we have an electron. Okay, and that means a specific orbit is for specific electron only. Okay, while revolving it discrete the orbit, the electron do not radiate the energy. So by this, the electron may not lose the energy and they can't collapse in the nucleus. The discrete orbit or the shells are called energy level. So these orbits or this is called the energy level. These orbits or cells are represented by the letter K, L, M, N and so on are the number n is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So how many orbits are there? That many alphabets it will be. And how many orbit levels are there? That many numbers, n is equals to 1, 2, 3, so on like that. Okay, so next is the atomic number. Okay, and the number of proton present in the nucleus of the atom is called the atomic number. So what is the atomic number? How many protons are there in the nucleus? That is known as your atomic number. So it is denoted by Z. Okay, so here atomic number of some elements they have given. Hydrogen symbol is H, number of proton is 1, number of neutron is 0, number of electron is 1. That means the atomic number is 1. Okay, helium, the symbol is He. The number of proton is 2, number of neutrons are 2, number of electrons are 2. That is the atomic number is 2. Why here 2? Yes, someone can answer. Open the mic and answer why it is having the helium atomic.
Hydrogen after helium. That's why the number is 2.
What?
హైడ్రోజన్ తర్వాత హెలియం, ఫస్ట్ హైడ్రోజన్, అందుకోసం హైడ్రోజన్ కి 1 అని చెప్తారు, తర్వాత హెలియం దానికి 2 అని చెప్తారు.
That's why the atomic number is 2. Or else
because number 4,
no, or else
due to number of 4.
Wait, due to, yeah, Pallavi, that is correct, due to number of protons, because I said that number of protons present in the nucleus of atom is called the atomic number, right? So that's why it is saying that helium is having number of protons 2. Here the hydrogen is having number of protons 1. That's why the atomic number is 1, and that's why the helium atomic number is 2. Okay, what you said, Lakshmi Prasanna, that is also correct little bit, but this is the main correctness. Okay, yeah, fine, ma. Yeah, okay, fine. So here we are saying that lithium, it is atomic number is 3. Okay, sorry, number of protons are 3, number of neutrons are 4, number of electrons are also 3, and so the atomic number is 3. Okay, same like beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, and neon. Okay, same as it there. Okay, so for atom, atomic number is equals to C. For atomic number is equals to number of proton is equals to number of electron. Okay, this both should be equal, they are saying. Okay, for ions, number of atomic number is equals to number of proton is equals to, not equal to number of electron. Okay, so they are ions and they are atoms. For example, aluminum atom, number of electron is equal to the number equal to the atomic number, but aluminum ion is not so. So see here, so 13p all atoms is 13p positive, that is a 13p negative. So no proton, no electron, number of proton, number of electron, and number of neutron. Okay, so mass number, next is your mass number. What is the mass number? Mass number is equal to the number of nucleus present inside the nucleus of an atom. So it is a nucleus number, it seems. Okay, it means that it is a sum of the number of protons and neutrons present in the nucleus. So whatever the protons and nucleus are present in the nucleus of an atom is your mass number, and it is denoted with the letter A. Okay, and it is denoted with the letter A. So here, so mass and number of element is equals to atomic mass of element, that is equals to number of proton plus number of neutrons. So here, for example, they have given carbon. Carbon mass number is 12. So number of proton is equals to 6. Number of neutron is equal to 6. That's why the mass number is 12. 6 plus 6 is 12. Okay, the same thing, nitrogen, it is number of protons are 7. Number of neutrons are also 7. So that is 7. That's 14. Okay, fluorine, number of protons are 9. Number of neutrons are 10. So that's why it is 19, the mass number. So how you will be writing this is a symbol of element with the atomic number and atomic mass number. Sorry, atomic number and the mass number. So how you will be writing? A is a mass number, that chemical symbol, and Z is your atomic weight. Sorry, atomic number. Okay. For example, nitrogen is written as 14 above, right? 14 will be above. 7 is the means the atomic number, right? And the N. Okay, where 14 is a mass number, S7 is the number, atomic number. Okay, next is the histophones. So here histophones of atoms of the same elements having the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Histophones have the similar chemical properties but different physical properties. So here what it is saying, it is having the same chemical property but with the different physical state. Okay, and it is having the same number of proton but different number of neutrons. Okay, for example, here the hydrogen, it exists in a 3 different isotopic forms. So how, see, ordinary hydrogen, it is having number of protons are 1, number of neutrons are 0, H. So here deuterium, it is number of proton is 1, number of neutron is 1, so that will be 2, 1, HD. Okay, deuterium, it is 1, this will be number of protons will 1, number of neutrons is 2, that will be 1 by 3H, right, T. That means the above one is the atomic mass number and down one is the atomic weight. Okay,
Gigi,
yes, what happened?
can you repeat this isotopes once again?
Isotopes once again. Isotopes are nothing but the atom of same element having the same protons, same number of protons, but different number of neutrons. In the law, different number. What will be happen here? It will be having a different number of neutrons, but same number of protons will be there. Okay, and the isotopes having the similar chemical property, but the physical property will be different. For example, if a water, yeah, water is what symbol? H, right? Hydrogen, and different physical state he told, na, different physical property. For example, hydrogen, if we freeze it, if we make a ice, what will be the different physical property of a water? If we make a ice,
Solid.
yeah, it will become a solid ice cube. Yes,
Yes.
yeah. So here the physical property is changed over here from liquid to solid.
Yes, Gigi.
Yes, so your doubt is clear. So he is taking the hydrogen. So in hydrogen, we have 3 different properties, it seems. So here first is the ordinary hydrogen. For that ordinary hydrogen, what it is, the number of proton is 1, number of neutrons are 0. So what it is, the symbol, mass is what? Number of protons plus number of neutrons. 0 plus 1 is 1 only. That's why the mass number is 1 and the atomic number is 1. Okay. Here the deuterium, number of proton is 1, number of neutron is 1. So the mass number will be 1 plus 1 is 2 and the atomic number is 1, number of proton, right? 1. So that is H, that is deuterium. Deuterium, 1 number of proton, 2 neutrons. So mass number will be 1 plus 2, 3 and the atomic number will be 1 and the symbol is H of T. Got it? Yeah. Same like the carbon will be having. Carbon, see, you can be make a carbon in a different form, gaseous form. Yes, you can make it in a gaseous form also. You will be what you will can make it, you can blow it in a balloon and it will become a gaseous form, right? It will be given the carbon to the balloon shape, that means it is forming a balloon structure, right? Okay, fine. So what are the uses of isotopes? An isotopes of a uranium is used to nuclear power plant to generate the electricity. With the help of these uranium isotopes, we can generate electricity used for medical purpose. Even we can use it in a medical purpose. So isotope of cobalt is used in a treatment of cancer. Isotopes of iodines is used in a treatment of goiters, it seems. Okay. And the fractional mass number of elements. So how the fractional mass numbers are there? See here. An element is a mixture of isotopes. It may have a fractional mass number. For example, chlorine exists in a 2 different isotopic forms. That is a 3,517 chlorine and 3,717 in a ratio of 3:1, such that 75% and 25%. The varying of this mass number are 35 and 37 respectively. So for calculating the mass number of chloride, percentage of isotopic form is used to calculate for that average mass. So for this two, we will be taking the average mass first. Okay, the mass number is 35, one is 35 and one is 37. So here, the average atomic mass of chloride, 75 into 100 into 35 plus 25 by 100. Why they have given 75 by 100 and 25 by 100? Because they are 75% and 25%. So that's why we have written 75 by 100, 75 by 100 into 35 plus 25 by 100 into 35. So here, if you calculate this, you will be getting the answer 35.35 U. Okay. So next is your isobar. Okay, the isobar, what are the isobars? Isobars are the atom having a different number of protons but same number of nucleus. So here we will be having different number of protons but neutrons will be same numbers. Okay. So here neutrons, same number of neutrons, number of protons plus number of electrons. So same number of nucleus means number of protons and number of electrons will be same. For example, argon and calcium have the different atomic number but same mass number. You can see the argon and see here mass number is same for argon and calcium. See here protons are 18, neutron is 22, 20 and is at 20. So 18 plus 22 will be 40, 20 plus 20 is a 40, right? So see here the atomic number will be 18 and mass number is 40 of argon, and calcium atomic number is 20 and mass number is 40. Okay. Next is your electron distribution in orbit. So here in electron distribution in orbit, how the electron is having, how many orbit it can have. Okay. Next is your valence, and okay, then we are ending up this. Okay, 2 more topics, then we will close this. So the electron distributing in orbit. So the distribution of electrons in a different orbit of an atom are suggested by Bruce and Bury in a known as electronic configuration. Who introduced the electronic configuration concept? Bruce and Bury. Okay, Bruce and Bury. The following are the 3 major rules for your electron distribution. There are 3 rules for electronic distribution. What are they? An atom can have a maximum electrons. Okay, an atom can have maximum number of electrons where n is the orbit number. Therefore, maximum number of electrons in a different shells are there. So what it should be? It should be a number of maximum electrons should be there and n orbit should be there, and maximum number of electrons is in a different shell. Different shell lo different orbits అంటే different orbits lo different electrons ఉంటాయి, అవి maximum level గా ఉండాలి. Okay, it should be a maximum level of electrons. Okay, the shell, as I said that orbits can be named as K, L, M, N. So the K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell, and they are representing by the number n is equals to 1, n is equals to 2, n is equals to 3, n is equals to 4. And the maximum number of electrons, n square, that is the n to the power n is here. N is nothing but your orbit. In a first orbit, 2 into 1 square, that is your 2 electrons will be there. In a second orbit, n into 2n square, that is your 2 into 2 square, that means 4 into 2, 8. So that will be having in a second orbit, it will be having 8 electrons. Same like that, so on, it will be in n3, it will be n into 3 square, that is your 3 is a 9, right? 9 to the 18. So in a third orbit, it will be 18 electrons, and in a fourth orbit, it will be 32 electrons. Okay, and like that, orbit are filled with inside then to the outside. So like that, they are filled from in a number of first orbit to the end of the orbit. Okay, the outermost orbit occupies the cell of an atom and can have a maximum of 8 electrons evenly if they are accumulated more electrons. So they can have maximum of 8 electrons even though they are occupying more electrons. If at the outermost orbit, okay, outermost orbit can have maximum 8, but they can have more also. They are saying that. Okay, and for example, sulfur, it has a 16 electrons. Therefore, the electrical configuration is 286. That means n is equals to 1 in N1, that is your K shell, it is 2 electrons, and in a L shell, it is 8 electrons, and in a M shell, it is 6 electrons. The total will be 8 plus 2 plus 8 is equals to 10, 10 plus 6 is equals to 16. That's why it is a 16. Okay, the electrons. Like that, the same sodium. And next is your valence. What is a valence? Valence of an element is a number of electrons that the atom should give away or take and attend to stable electric configuration. If you want a stable electric configuration, that time you should give away or you should attend. Means you have to grab some atom or else you have to give away some atom. Okay. So example, the atom should accumulate 8 electrons in the outermost shell. So it is saying that if it is a valence shell, it should be 8 electrons in the atom. Sorry, in the orbit. It should be 8 electrons in the outermost shell. Then only it is a valence orbit. Okay, valence orbit or valence shell. So here the electrons present in the outermost orbit of an atom are known as valence electron. Whatever the outermost orbit having the valence electron, then valence number of electrons, that is your 8 electrons in the outermost orbit, then it is called as a valence electron. Then it is called valence electron. Okay. For example, here there are 3 ways to obtain the stable electric configuration. Why? What are the ways? Why we are having these 3 ways? Because we want a stable electric configuration. Okay. By closing the, by losing the electron, by gaining the electron, or by sharing the electron. Okay. These are the 3 ways that are by losing the electron, by gaining the electron, and by sharing the electron. Next is your, for example, they have given some example. The hydrogen molecule has 1 electron in the outermost orbit and thus one more electron to complete its outermost shell, K shell. For this, hydrogen atom is sharing 1 electron from another hydrogen atom. Okay, it should be a valence electron. So what it is doing, it is sharing with another hydrogen electron. Why it is sharing, why not it is gaining? Because that another hydrogen also should be a valence. That's why it is sharing. Okay. So the valence of atom of a first 10 elements of electric configuration. Here's the first 10 elements of your valence of atoms are there. Okay. So hydrogen, 1 atomic number, 1 electron, the K shell is also 1. Okay. And then like that, helium, 2 atomic number of electron also 2. In a K shell also it will be 2. See here 3. The atomic number of lithium is 3. Number of electrons are 3. So the 2 in a K shell and 1 in a L shell. Okay. So like that they have given. So the thing is, atoms do the reactions to attain the stable configuration, but noble gases are inverted as they already have a stable electric configuration. So they don't, the noble gases doesn't need anything of like sharing or losing or gaining the electron, because they have having the stable electronic configuration. That means they will be having the outermost shell of your noble gases will be filled with 8 electrons. So that's why they don't need any sharing, losing or gaining. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts? Yes. No doubts? Yeah, okay, fine. Thank you then for today's class. This was enough. And one more thing,